I wanted to talk about fundraising because over the past 10 to 15 years, I've been very involved in fundraising with my company, selling $85,000 to $112,000 worth of product each year. And a lot of that was based on involving fundraising into my business. So what I want to share with you about getting started with fundraising is, I'm a little distracted here, sorry, is that a lot of people start trying to find groups or organizations to work with, and they give up too soon. They'll start saying, oh, I asked all the schools, or I dropped off the packets to the schools and I didn't get anywhere and no one contacted me back. But I want you to think about not just the schools, but the different groups within the school that could use fundraising, like the senior class, the junior class for their trips or their whatever things they do during the year. I don't even know. I don't have kids in school anymore. But you have the chorus, you have the band, you have the cheerleaders, and they all need to earn money. So a lot of people will give up after they just drop the packets off at the school without thinking about all the different groups. So start there, start smaller with these groups and work your way bigger into the whole organization and the whole school. Another thing that's really important is the follow-up. It's not just about dropping the packets off at the school, but you need to contact them back and say, did you get the materials I left? What do you think? Can we talk about it? And I'm just going to tell you really quick about I'm sorry, I'm so distracted.
Just ignore Elizabeth. Go ahead, Theresa. You're a fundraiser superstar.
So one of my most successful fundraisers when I started was a group of cheerleaders, and I had dropped the packets off in June to the coach, and she said, contact me back in 2 weeks. And I said, okay. So I went back 2 weeks later, and she said, oh, I haven't read this stuff yet. And she said, but give me a couple weeks and contact me back. And this went on all summer. Every 2 weeks I went to talk to her. Finally in September she called me and she said, we want to do a fundraiser. She said, thank you for being persistent without being pushy. So keep that in mind, that you can do the follow-up. It doesn't have to be pushy. If she tells you 2 weeks, you call her back in 2 weeks. And that's really important into landing these fundraisers or any part of your business, really. But these are some really important things that you need to know just to get started, to be able to do a fundraiser.
Now, what's the difference, Karen? Because sometimes people get them and then they have like a $50 or an $80 fundraiser. What's the difference between one that flops and one that works really well?
One thing that I found to be very important in that is making sure that when the packets are distributed to the participants, they know where the money is going. If they think the money is just going into the slush fund to pay for whatever throughout the year, they're not as motivated to go out and sell the product for the fundraiser. If they know that the proceeds from this are going to build the new playground, are going to fund the class trip, are going to buy the cheerleaders' uniforms, they're more likely to really push the fundraiser and bring in the sales for the earnings for themselves and to make it successful. So that's very important, is the launch and letting them know what the funds are for.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, if someone wants to contact with you, how would they find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Theresa Paul. You can find my Facebook group, Tuesdays with Theresa. And you can find me on YouTube. It's also Theresa Paul.
Perfect. Thank you, Theresa. That was awesome.